Podcast Bootcamp, Series 3, Number 3, 03224, Identification. Recent remarks by New York Governor Cuomo have sent me to scour my personal memory bank. That poor soul has no first-hand knowledge of WW2 or Franklin Roosevelt either. And for the next few minutes, I'm going to share my personal connection with the nation's longest-serving president. FYI, it's a record not likely to be broken. See the 22nd Amendment of the Constitution.
Regular listeners know I'm working on a précis about the Ferdinand Magellan, the only rail car ever purposed for the use of President of the United States. I'm reading No Ordinary Time by Doris Kearns Goodwin, and I've just finished reading about the Yalta Conference in the winter of 1944-45. The late president had a fervent belief in the United Nations. He traveled to Yalta in the Crimea to ensure cooperation in establishing this international organization. He had great faith in the Security Council. In early 1945, he hoped to address that organization's meeting in San Francisco the following September. It's less well known today, but Franklin Roosevelt was an avid stamp collector. I remember seeing advertisements for collectible stamp approval organizations with the line, "Stamp collecting is fun. Ask the President of the United States." If it was good enough for the president, count me in. And I began to collect stamps. I just wasn't very good at it, but I sure learned a lot. Back to Franklin Roosevelt. In one of his speeches, FDR used the phrase, quote, "toward the United Nations," end of quote. He thought it might make a great commemorative stamp. To my knowledge, it's the only postage stamp ever designed by a sitting president and was issued by the United States Post Office. Wikipedia is not clear on the issue date, which they claim is April 19, 1945, but I believe it was later at the time of the San Francisco Conference. The U.S. Postal Service also created a commemorative set of stamps and created the first one in December 1944, but it was not issued until after his death. Postal regulations do not permit depicting living persons on stamps. The Roosevelt commemorative is special for two reasons. At the time, it was unusual for the Postal Service to issue sets or sequences of commemoratives. This set had 4 stamps: a 1-cent green, 2-cent carmine, 3-cent purple, and a 5-cent blue. They preceded the set in issue with the 3-cent purple, created in December 1944 and intended for, quote, regular use, unquote. For the collectors, 1945 was a gold mine. The 3-cent vertical commemorative, flag raising on Iwo Jima in green. At that time, the 3-cent stamps of USPS were usually purple. It's also the only time a living individual had been portrayed on a U.S. postage stamp: John Bradley and Ira Hayes. I told you I was a collector.
In shopping carts, try this workaround. When entering the grocery store, select any cart. Use a towelette and wipe the handle. Visit the restroom and wash your hands. Don't throw away that paper towel. Wrap it around that nasty handle, especially if you see the waste towel container is full. Instead of disposing of the towel, wrap it around the shopping cart handle. And now use it to open the doors on the frozen food cases. It's your best personal protection. In this time of crisis, soap and water are the failsafe. Next time, I'll share my personal memoir about the Ferdinand Magellan and how Harry Truman came to see me.